Hey physics lovers, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll discuss about some of the important problems in radiation. In my previous video, you might have watched some of the important problems based on thermal conductivity. So in this lecture, I'm going to explain some of very important problems which covers all the different models in radiation for JEE and NEET exam. Yeah, before I just get into discussion, please subscribe my channel if you have not done and share with your friends, and do not forget to click the bell icon so that you get more updates. Let's get into the discussion. Let's see the first problem. The intensity of radiation emitted by the sun has its maximum value at a wavelength of 510 nanometer. So lambda 1 is given as 510 nanometer. Right, that emitted, the north star has the maximum wavelength, so other star has 350 nanometer. If these stars behave like black bodies, then the ratio of their temperature of the sun and the north star is. This problem is based on Wien's displacement law. According to Wien's law, the wavelength corresponding to the maximum emission inversely proportional to absolute temperature. So I can write this as lambda 1 upon lambda 2 is T2 upon T1. So this is nothing but 510 by 350 is equal to T2 upon T1. But it is asking T1 upon T2 because it's asking temperature of star and to the north star. So let's take T1 upon T2 is equal to 350 upon 510. So this is 35 upon 51, which is nearly 0.69. Because if it is 7 times, nearly we can cancel. Because if it is 350, 50 will cancel by 7 times. So 35 by 51 is nearly 69. So no need to calculate, because just by looking at the option you can guess the answer. Why? Because if it is 350 by 50, it is 7. So sorry, 0.69. So it is 35 by 51. So it has to be 0.69. So the option is option number B. So just by looking at the option, you can guess the answer. No need to simplify all the decimals. Now let's look at the question number 2. A black body at a temperature 5760 Kelvin. The energy of radiation emitted by the body at a wavelength 250 nanometer is lambda 1. I mean U1. So when the wavelength is 250 nanometer, the energy emitted is U1. When the wavelength is 500 nanometer, the wavelength emitted is U. I mean energy is U2. Similarly, when the wavelength is 1000 nanometer and the energy emitted is U3. We know Wien's constant as 2.88 10 to the power 6 nanometer Kelvin. Which of the following is correct is asking. Right. So again, let me take from Wien's displacement law, wavelength inversely proportional to temperature. And we all know that from Stephen's law, energy proportional to T power 4. And we know that energy of any radiation is Hc by lambda. So here clearly we can understand that energy emitted inversely proportional to wavelength. So again, that means more is the wavelength, less is the energy. More is the wavelength, less is the energy. So from this it is very clear that as lambda 3 greater than lambda 2 greater than lambda 1, and u3 will be less than, u2 will be less than u1. Now let's check up the options. So since u2 less than u1, so u2 cannot be greater than u1, so our u1 greater than u2. So this is the answer. These are not possible. So the answer is u1 greater than u2. Now let's move on to third problem. The rate of emission of radiation of a black body at temperature 27 is E1. If its temperature increased to 327, the rate of emission is E2. Then the relation is. So this is a direct formula based problem, Stephen's law. According to Stephen's law, the rate of emission directly proportional to fourth power of its absolute temperature. So P1 by P2 is T1 by T2 whole power. But very important that you have to get the temperature in Kelvin. It is in centigrade. So 273 plus 27 is nothing but 300 Kelvin. Similarly, temperature, 327 plus 273 is nothing but 600 Kelvin. Now let us substitute there. So it is given as E1 upon E2 is equal to 300 by 600 whole power 4. This will go by 2 times, which implies E2 is equal to 16, E1. So the answer is E2 is equal to 16 E1. That formula based. Now let's move on to problem number 4. Two spheres of the same material have radii 1m and 4m. So let's take R1 as 1m, R2 as 4m. So while solving problems, it is always better to write the data on the paper so that you can get the answer very easily. So then T1 is 4000 Kelvin and T2 is 2000 Kelvin. Okay. The ratio of the energy radiated per second by the first sphere to the second sphere. So that means it is based on Stephen's law. So according to Stephen's law, the rate of energy emitted is sigma A T power 4. Okay. Now from that I can say that P is equal to A is 4 pi r square into T power 4. So therefore P1 upon P2 is R1 by R2 whole square into T1 by T2 whole power 4, because it depends upon radius as well as temperature. So that implies R1 by R2 is 1 by 4 whole square into 4000 by 2000 whole power 4. So nothing but 16 into, and this here it will go by 2 terms again, we get 16 only, cancel. So the answer is 1:1. Let's check the options. Yes, option number A is the answer, 1:1. So that formula based problem. Let's see the problem number 5. The power radiated by a black body is P and its maximum energy around the wavelength lambda naught. The temperature of the black body now changed so that radiates maximum energy around the wavelength 3 lambda by naught. The power rated by it will be increased by a factor of. So here it is based on both Stephen's law and Wien's law. According to Stephen's law, power radiated proportional to T power 4, and according to Stephen's law, wavelength inversely proportional to T. So from this I can say that P proportional to 1 by lambda power 4. So let's substitute that. So P1 upon P2. So P1 upon P2 is lambda 2 by lambda 1 whole power 4, which is nothing but lambda 2 is 3 by 4 lambda naught, 3 by 4 lambda naught whole upon initial is lambda naught. So whole power 4. So nothing but 81 upon 256. But is asking, we got P2 by P1 by P2 as P1 by P2 as 81 by 256. So what is P2? 256 by 81 times P1. So now he's asking how many times it is increased. It increased by 256 by 81. So I have to be careful. So when the question given is how many times it is increasing. So it is increased by 256 by 81 times the initial power. Let's see the sixth problem. Here a black metal foil is warmed by radiation from a small sphere of temperature T and at a distance D. It is found that the power received by the foil is P. If both the temperature and distance are doubled, the power received by the foil will be. So here we know that when we have a source and this is the energy received or the power received. So this power received inversely proportional to square of the distance. At the same time, the power directly about temperature T power 4. So at this point, so it depends upon both temperature and as well as the distance. So power received proportional to T power 4 upon D square. Therefore, P1 upon P2 is equal to T1 upon T2 whole power 4 into D2 upon D1 whole square. Now it is given that if both the temperature and distance are doubled, so it is given that initial power is P, so P2, so T1 by 2T1 whole power 4 and 2D1 by D1 whole square, which is nothing but 1 by 16, nothing but 4. So 1 by 4. From this I can say P2 is equal to 4 times P. So let's check the options. Option number B is the answer. So this is a very important relation. Here power is directly proportional to T power 4, inversely proportional to square of the distance. Let's move on to question number 7. Here sphere P and Q are uniformly constructed from the same material, which is a good conductor of heat, and radius of Q is thrice the radius of P. The rate of fall of temperature of P is x times that of Q. Then both are at the same surface temperature. So the value of x is. So we all know that the rate of cooling directly proportional to 1 by rho r c, where r is the radius of the sphere, rho is density, c is specific. Here since the material is constant, rho and c are constant, so the rate of cooling inversely proportional to r. So rate of cooling of 1 upon rate of cooling of 2 is R2 by R1. Here one question is given. The rate of fall of temperature of P is x times that of Q. And the rate of fall of P is x times that of Q. So given that R1 is equal to x times R2. And one more thing is given. The radius of Q is 3 times the radius of P. And given that R2 is equal to 3R1. Let us substitute these two values there. So therefore, x R2 by R2 is equal to 3R1 by R1. R2, R2 cancel, R1 cancel. So simply the x value is 3, option number C. And this relation is very, very important. The rate of cooling inversely proportional radius of the sphere, density and specific heat. Now let's move on to problem number 8. The rectangular surface area is 8 into 4 of a black body at temperature 127. Emits energy at the rate of E per second. If the length and area of the surface are each reduced to half of its initial value and the temperature 8 to 327, the rate of emission of energy will become. Again, according to Stephen's law, sigma A T power 4. So this P1 upon P2 is equal to A1 upon A2 into T1 upon T2 whole power 4. So clearly we can say that here if A1 is equal to A, A2 becomes, it said that length by 2, breadth by 2. So it becomes 1/4. So the area A2 become A by 4. And T1 is equal to 273 plus 127 is 400 Kelvin. And T2 is 327 plus 273 is 600 Kelvin. Now let's substitute those values there. So initially it is given as E. So E upon P2 is equal to what is A1? A upon A by 4 into T1 is 400 upon 600 whole power 4. So this AA cancel. E upon P2 is equal to, this will go by, so 2 2s and 2 3s I can write. So this is 16 upon 81. So from this I can say P2 is equal to 18 by 16, 64, sorry, 62 power. Yeah, there is 6, sorry. Here there is one more 4. So this 4 A cancel, the 4 will be there. So nothing but 64 upon 81. That implies P2 is equal to 81 by 64 into P. So the new power will be 81 by 64 into P. Let us check the answer. I mean, so this P is given as E. So let's take this as E. It's 81 by 64. So this is 81 by 64 is the answer. Right. Let us see the problem number 9. Assuming the sun to be a spherical body of radius r at a temperature of T Kelvin, evaluate the total radiant power incident on the earth at a distance r from the sun, and r is the radius of the earth. So here we have to take assuming the sun to be, so here actually some data is missing. Here we need to take r naught on the surface, radius of the surface on which the light is incidenting. If I take a sun, and the radius of the sun is r. Okay. Now let us take this is the sun, and the radius of this is capital R, and it is emitting radiation in all directions. This is the mean distance. So small r, we can take the mean distance here. Small r is the mean distance. So here there is earth. On earth, some patch of it is illuminated with earth. That radius is, let us take it as r naught. So here the emission of energy is, so that's what we talk about the solar constant. This solar constant is nothing but the total energy emitted upon area. This is nothing but sigma. Area of the sun is 4 pi r square into T power 4. But area is the illuminated area, nothing but 4 pi small r square. So 4 pi cancel. This solar constant is nothing but sigma r square T power 4 pi r square. So here is asking the total radiant power incident on the earth at a distance. So we need to find out how much energy incident on this part. So total energy incident is nothing but area into that solar constant. Solar constant into area. So sigma r square T power 4 by small r square into area of that patch is pi r naught square. So then the option should be pi r naught square, r square T power 4 sigma T power 4 by R square. This is option number B. So here R naught is the radius of the patch where the light is inciding on it. So this is option number B is the correct option. Let's go to problem number 10. A body cools from 50 to 49.9 in 5 seconds. How long will it take from 40 to 39.9? Assume the temperature of the surrounding to be 30. So it's a direct formula based on Newton's law. So let us take this as T1, this as T2, and then again we need to take this is 50 to 40, the two separate temperatures are given. No problem. Let's take this as T3 and this as T4. So I can write T1 minus T2 upon T3 minus T4 into T2 by T1 is equal to, you have to take average T1 plus T2 by 2 minus T0 whole upon T3 plus T4 by 2 minus T0. This I am writing from Newton's law of cooling. So for the first body, or you can, instead of remembering the formula directly, you can write E1 directly from this. dt by dt is equal to minus b into T minus T0. So for the first one, what is the change of temperature? 50 minus 49.2 whole upon time is 5 seconds is equal to minus b into, you take the average. So 50 plus 49.9 by 2 minus the surrounding temperature given as 30. This is equation 1. Similarly, for the second part, if I write, so 40 minus 39.9 by T2, I don't know. That's what I need to find out. So minus B into again 40 plus 39.9 by 2 minus 30. This is second equation. So if you simplify this, so 50 minus 49.9 is 0.1. So let's divide 1 upon 2. So this is 0.1 by, and this is also 0.1 only, into T2 by 5, because T2 there is a 5 there, is equal to, this is very important. So 50 plus 49.9, 10.9 minus 60 if you take LCM. So 19.9, this is nothing but minus 60, right? So 39.9. This will be 39.9 upon the same way. 79 minus 60 is 19.9. So this will go 19.9. Because if I take LCM, those two will get cancelled. Simply, these are cancelled. So T2 by 5 is equal to, so approximately we can say this will go by 2 times. So that implies T2 is equal to 10 seconds. So it is direct formula based on Newton's law of cooling. So the option number B is the answer. So this is again Newton's law of cooling only. Here they are saying the temperature falls from 52 to 36 in 10 minutes. The surrounding temperature given. What will be the temperature of the body after another 10 minutes? So the same way I can write. So 52 minus 36 by 10 is equal to minus b into 52 plus 36. 52 plus 36 by 2 minus 20. Equation 1. And now is asking after how much time, what will be the temperature after another 10 minutes. So let's take, so 36 minus t upon again 10 is equal to minus b into 36 plus t by 2 minus 20, second equation. So you need to simplify that. So 52 minus 36 is 16. So this is 16 by 36 minus t is equal to, because 10 will cancel. And again 52 plus 36 is 88. 88 by 2 is 44. 44 minus 20 is 24. So you'll get 24 upon, and here also the same logic goes. If I cross multiply it, 36 plus t minus 40, so I think t minus 4. This will be t minus 4. Now let's simplify that further. This will go by 8 2's and this will go by 8 3's. Now cross multiply that. 2t minus 8 is equal to 108 minus 3t. So 5t is equal to, is it 116? Okay. So let us check it once. Here that 52 minus 36 is 16. Yeah, correct. 36 is the temperature is how much? 36. Yeah, 36 to 36 minus t by, yeah, correct only. 52 plus 36 is, if I take the 52 plus 36, I think 80. 8 by 2, 44 minus 24, correct only. And this is again 36. This one will be 36 plus t3 minus 40, so it will be t minus 4. So if you cross multiply that, we get that one as 2t minus 8 is equal to 108 minus 3t. Yeah, correct. 5t is equal to plus 116. So t should be equal to 116 upon 5. So 5 2's are 10. So somewhere, let's check again. So here 52 minus 36 by 36, now another 10 minutes when the place in surrounding constant temperature 20. What will be the temperature of the body after another 10 minutes? So another 10 minutes is, yes sir, 52 minus 36 by 10 minus b, 52 plus 36 by 2 is 80. 88 by 2, 44 minus 20, 24, correct only. And this is 36 minus t by 10 cancel, so 16 upon, correct only. And this is 16 by 36 minus t. And if I divide these two, I think 44 minus 20, 24, correct only. And here if I take, acha, there is 2 here, because there is, I took 44 but there is 2 here, so there will be 2 again. Why? Because 36 plus t by 2 minus 40, so this 2 will go up. So then in that case, this 2 also will get cancelled. So simply t minus 4 is equal to 108 minus 3t. So 4t is equal to 1112. T is equal to 112 by 4, nothing but 28 degrees centigrade. So here, because when you take LCM, there will be 2 here. Because here the 2 is cancelled, so there will be 2 there. So the answer is 28 degrees centigrade. Let's see the next question, number 12. Here, 2 metallic spheres PQ of same radius. Finish are taken. Weight of P is twice that of Q. Both the spheres are heated to the same temperature and left in a room to cool by radiation. The ratio of rate of cooling P to Q. It's a very good model. I said the rate of cooling inversely proportional to R. But we know that mass is equal to volume into density. Volume is 4 by 3 pi R cube into rho. So from that I can write m proportional to r cube r proportional to m power 1 by 3. Therefore, the rate of cooling inversely proportional to m power 1 by 3. So if I take this equation, I can write R1 upon R2 is equal to M2 upon M1 whole power n by 3. Given that weight of P is twice that of Q. So M1 is 2M2. So R1 upon R2 is M2 by 2M2 whole power 1 by 3. So it should be 1:2 power 1 by 3. So let's check the options. Yeah, 1:2 power 1 by 3. It's a good problem. So it depends upon the rate of cooling and how the mass depends on radius of the sphere. We need to apply both the concepts. And let's see the last one. A spherical body of radius 12 centimeter radiates 450 watt power at 500 Kelvin. If the radius were half, temperature double, the power radiated is. So it's a direct formula based on Stephen's law. Power is equal to sigma A T power 4. Nothing but sigma 4 pi r square T power 4. So P1 upon P2 is R1 upon R2 whole power 4 into, whole square into T1 upon T2 whole power 4. So initially the power is given as 450 upon P2, we don't know. And there is a relation given between R1 and R2. Yeah, initial radius is 12 centimeter. Now radius were halved. If the radius were halved, so it becomes 6 whole square into if the radius were half, temperature is doubled. So T1 by 2T1 whole power 4. So 450 upon P2 is equal to, so this will go by 2 times 4 into, and this become 1 by 60. So this will go by 4 times. So P2 is equal to 450 times 4. So nothing but P2 is equal to 1800 watt. So the answer is 1800. So these are some of the important models in radiation. So these problems are enough for your JEE Mains exam and even for NEET exam. I hope you are loving my teaching, and do not forget to subscribe if you have not done. Let's make physics more interesting. I wish you happy physics learning. Thanks for listening.